I found that being in service to other human beings, being in service to the dogs and cats that I had, being in service to the plants I had, being in service to my children, being in service to anything else but me, brought a reasonable amount of happiness. And I also noticed the opposite. When I started agonizing over my own problems and being self-obsessed, I suffered. And so I changed it. I stopped. I started being in service to humanity, in service to everything else but me. And boy, my life became so much better. Welcome to Satsang. Yes.
What is the problem with self-obsession?
Most human beings are self-obsessed when they're children because they were trying to work out the world and how they fit into it. And so they think about themselves a great deal. As they get older, they learn to take care of others and take care of the world around them, and they become less self-obsessed. Unfortunately, some don't. They stay self-obsessed. And it's all about them all the time. And being around them is not much fun because they tend to be drama queens. Having some kind of problem where they're the center of attention and they just attract a great deal of attention to themselves. Self-obsession, when you really examine it, is a major form of selfishness. And it can be relieved, but you have to stop thinking about yourself. You have to start looking around and seeing what has happened with other people, getting involved with their story rather than just your own story. Self-obsessed people tend to talk about themselves a fair bit, and if the subject goes to something else, they'll bring it back to themselves. It's in a way against higher consciousness, because usually self-obsessed people, because they're constantly thinking about themselves, they tend to be in dream a fair bit, and dreaming is lower consciousness.
Why do you think people are so often self-obsessed?
I think it's very common actually for people to be self-obsessed. It's just in the way of success in life. When we move into service out in the world somewhere, whether we're in business or we're working for someone, or we're even a musician or a sportsman, when we're in service to something else besides ourselves, life starts to work very well for us. While we're self-obsessed, we tend to end up being miserable because we start looking for all of our problems and we find them. And then we agonize over those problems, try to get ourselves rescued by other people.
What's the cure for self-obsession?
Get yourself a starship and head out to space. Oh, you're serious with that?
Well, just if you don't have access to one.
Yeah, to boldly go where no mind has gone before. People usually grow out of it when they have children or they get a partner and they find that they have to start putting something else before themselves. And they lose the self-obsession as a result. Unfortunately, if that doesn't happen, these people tend to be quite painful to be around. Self-obsession is a form of suffering in itself. I had this wonderful experience when I was working as a naturopath practitioner. I found that once I touched the door on my clinic, the door handle on my clinic, The Vishrant story disappeared, and I was just there for the person on the other side of the room to listen to whatever was going on with them and try and sort out their problems. And sometimes I'd do 8-hour days of this. And I'd find that at the end of the 8 hours, I was really at peace because I hadn't been thinking about myself. The story of Vishrant had actually disappeared. And I decided to extend that into the rest of my life. I realized that there isn't a need for a story of Vishrant. There is no need to be carrying on about my problems in my head constantly. I found that being in service to other human beings, being in service to the dogs and cats that I had, being in service to the plants I had, being in service to my children, being in service to anything else but me, brought a reasonable amount of happiness. And I also noticed the opposite. When I started agonizing over my own problems and being self-obsessed, I suffered. And so I changed it. I stopped. I started being in service to humanity, in service to everything else but me. And boy, my life became so much better.
So why do you think, solving other people's problems or being in service to other people is better or any different to serving yourself or agonizing over your own problems?
Well, when I'm helping other people, it's not personal. I'm not caught in some kind of drama. I'm quite detached from it. I'm just there to help them feel better about what they're going through or help them with their health. It's more of a professional role in a way, where I'm not actually involved in the agony of what's going wrong or what's going right. And it's just a nicer place to be in. I loved working as a naturopath. I loved working as a psychotherapist. I loved doing deep tissue massage and chiropractic work. I just loved it because I put myself aside and I was just there for others, and it was lovely.
So what do you recommend doing if you're involved with people that are, I guess, constantly self-obsessed?
Okay, so I used to tell them, when you tell self-obsessed people that they're carrying on and it's all about them, quite often they won't want to know you for very much longer. And so a lot of people left my company. When you start telling the truth to people, you lose a lot of people. It's just how it is. People want to hear convenient lies coming out of your mouth that match their belief systems. They don't like the truth much.
Why the Star Trek uniform tonight?
To boldly go where no mind has gone before. That is the mission of the seeker.
That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions? Any answers? Any statements? Or does anyone have anything they'd like to chat about? Or if someone has a challenge, I dare you. 𝐬𝐞𝐥𝐟-𝐢𝐧𝐪. Cool name. I probably pronounced it wrong. How do you pronounce your name?
Hello, Doru.
𝐬𝐿. Okay, great. We've got that now. 𝐬𝐿. I like your haircut. It reminds me of mine.
Thanks. This is actually the second time coming here.
Yeah, I know. I remember you. But you don't have the beard, you see. You've got a little bit more to grow around here and here. You see,
Yeah.
Eyebrows are coming on really well, though. Excellent.
Yeah. Thanks. So I wanted to ask, the meditation technique on concentrating on the breath.
Okay.
Will that take me to enlightenment?
Probably not. Probably not. What it does is it allows you to develop present moment awareness to what is real. When you were a little kid, up to about 4 or 5 years old, you had present moment awareness to everything around you that was real, and you weren't living in your head yet, dreaming. You were just playing and being present to what is real. Then you went to school for up to 12 years and you learned how to live in your head for 12 years. And that's what's happened to most people. And as adults, most people live in their heads because that's what they've been programmed to do. Meditation, or the practice, the formal practice of meditation, allows you to reclaim reality from the dream that you've probably been lost in for a long time. Meditation is beautiful because it's just being aware of what is real. People think it's a spiritual practice. It's a reality practice. Get real. Be aware of what's real. If you really watch your mind, you'll notice that it's not real. It's just dream. So what's real? My voice is real. The image of me is real. What you think about me is not real.
So how exactly do I reach enlightenment? What's the, other than meditation, what stuff can I do?
So look, I didn't even know what enlightenment was when I was your age. I didn't have a damn clue. I was just really good at business, making money. And then I came across an Indian guru who started talking about enlightenment. And I thought, wow, that's an interesting mountain to climb. Let's see what that one involves, because I'd already done the business trip. And it's different because in climbing the mountain of reality, which is higher consciousness, you've got to let things go. You've got to get rid of all the limiting programs that stop you from climbing that mountain and staying at the top. And so it's very much an undoing process rather than a doing up process, which is personal growth. Personal growth's like, let's become bigger, better, and more powerful. Spiritual growth or reality growth is about becoming less than, taking everything away that's in the way. And that's a process that I was helped with by awake teachers, people who were already awake, who knew the way. Having a teacher who's not awake is not such a good idea because they're lost. Anyone who's not awake is actually still living as an ego and is lost. And so I hung out with the awake ones and they helped take me apart until there was nothing in the way anymore, until I could be free. And so I could say, oh, you could self-inquire, you could meditate, you could practice openness. But the truth is, the best chance any human being has of waking up is to hang out with other people who are awake. And that's what you're doing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's, I don't remember actually, but it's Osho said something like, I don't know if Osho said it, I don't remember exactly, but when someone becomes enlightened, it's like a fire starting.
No, the fire starts way before enlightenment. By the time enlightenment happens, you're burnt out. It's like you step into this holy fire that burns away everything that is false, and you're left, in a way, devastated or annihilated. People look at the word nirvana and they think, heaven. No, nirvana means annihilation. My mind has been annihilated. What's left can still operate in the world, but everything that was in the way has been annihilated. It's all been taken apart. And so I can operate in the world, but not the same way that I used to, because I used to operate basically as a gangster businessman. And that's all been removed because it was all in the way. That was all just armor and weaponry. And I needed to actually become a nobody. And we started as nobodies, when we were born, and then we slowly became somebodies until we become so defended and so closed that we don't even perceive love anymore. And the process to reverse that takes a fair bit of effort, where you get back to being wide open like a little kid again, and you start feeling love everywhere. And it's very beautiful. But it is a reverse engineering process, because none of us were programmed for happiness, none of us were programmed for freedom, and none of us were programmed for love. We were actually programmed for war. Competition, which is what school's all about, prepares us for war.
how do I meet more enlightened masters?
Hey, go and see if you can't find them. I found them all over the world. I lived with them everywhere. I lived in America with them. I lived in Italy with them. I lived in India with them. I chased them. I was a guru hunter. You know, once I worked out what they were and what they had and what they were willing to share, I hunted them. And when they came to Australia, I hosted them. I put them up at my house. I chauffeur drove them around. I fed them. You know, I did whatever they needed to do. Took them wherever they needed to go, because I knew what they were carrying. I knew they were carrying a Buddha field, and I knew in that Buddha field I could dissolve as an I and find myself as truth.
But you need some amount of money to start hunting gurus, right?
Yeah, you probably do. Yeah, you probably do. Because usually you got to go to another country and live in another country to be with them, unless you've got one living in your town. And that's the very reason that I don't travel, because I'm here for the people that live in West Australia. I'm here for the people who live in Perth, because there's no one else here as far as I know. So it's pointless me going somewhere else. And people can come here and be with me, and if they've got money, they can pay. If they haven't got money, I don't insist on them paying. I don't believe spirituality should be sold in the first place. But, you know, everyone needs to get paid, including the manager of the Buddhist Society. So, such is life, you know.
Yeah.
But this is free. You're online to me talking tonight. This is free. I do 4 of these a week. And if you wanted to donate some money, you could. If you don't want to, I don't care. It's fine. You're welcome. You're so welcome.
Well, if I actually start without money, searching for a guru,
Yeah.
possible to find one? Will existence?
In India, there is. Yeah, up in Rishikesh, there's what's called Mona teachers, or a Mona teacher is someone who's awake who doesn't talk. And before awakening, that's where I was headed, up to Rishikesh in India, to live up in Rishikesh, to be with the Mona teachers, because I understood that the only thing that we need to learn is unconditional surrender. And if you can find a Buddha field to surrender in, that's the way. And so that's where I was headed. I was taking my whole family up there, my wife and my 2 kids. I was taking them to Rishikesh to live for 6 months. But the Advaita Vedanta teachers came to Perth, and I didn't trust them one bit. But the moment this teacher walked in the room, I lit up and I found myself as the universe again. And boy, did I catch on fire then. Talk about step into the holy fire, mate. Within a year of that occurrence and 1,000 Satori's awakening occurred. And now it's been 25 years awake. 25 years without an ego. 25 years without fear. It's been brilliant.
So, if I were to in the future come to you in Australia, would the same
Yeah.
happen to me?
There's no guarantee of anything, mate. If you hung around me, you'd definitely be on fire. I'm not user friendly. I create chaos wherever I go. To boldly go where no mind has gone before. Whatever's in your way, I'll show you. And that might upset you, or it might not. Probably will. Most people get upset. But that gives the opportunity for acceptance and let go. And acceptance and let go is how we learn unconditional surrender. The only thing we have to learn for enlightenment. The only thing we have to learn, for that matter, for love. Unconditional surrender of the mind.
Yeah. I'd do anything for enlightenment. Well, I wouldn't care if I get upset. Anything for truth. Like, there's no other way other than the truth.
Look, you have the right attitude. That's the attitude I had. I'd do anything for enlightenment, and I did. I gave my life to God, or truth. I don't have a life. I don't have a future. I don't have a past. I gave it all to truth.
But that's where everyone is headed eventually, right?
I don't know.
Everyone.
Yeah, but I can only talk about myself. I don't know about other people. You know, I'll talk to you about my own direct experience, but I'm not going to talk about something I've read in a book or heard from some guru. I don't trust any of that stuff. I trust my own direct experience. And I don't ask anyone to ever believe me. I ask people to look where I'm pointing and find out for yourself. Anyone who tries to sell you a belief is trying to imprison you. Don't get involved.
So basically, so before some basic things that I'll have to do is I've heard you say that your life became better from giving service to others, being in service to others.
It did, but it took a lot for me to get to that point. I had to see that I'd wasted my life for 33 years serving myself. I had to see it, and I had to feel the regret of it.
How many?
We've all been conned, man. We've all been brainwashed into believing stuff that's not real.
Can I ask one more question?
Yep.
How many lifetimes do you remember?
I have never really counted them, but there was this week that happened back a long time ago where I couldn't stop the memories coming. And it was just constant memories of past lives, and it ran into hundreds. And then after a week, it stopped. And it was so good that it stopped. It was like having a movie playing in my head that I had no control over. And it was one life after the next life after the next life. And I was a soldier or a priest or a soldier and a priest in most lifetimes. So I was into spirituality and I was also into war. And so I remember the smell of the blood. I remember the killing. I remember the tragedy of war. You see, people think, well, you remember all the good things. No, you remember all the bad things. And one thing that I really got out of that was I don't want to do this again.
Does suffering, as you progress with lifetimes, does suffering get like less?
Heck no. The only way that suffering gets less is when you stop resisting life, when you start accepting life and being okay with life as it is. The moment you resist anything, you start suffering. It's even with pain. Pain isn't suffering. The resistance to pain is suffering. Yeah, so stop resisting. Resistance is futile.
Okay. Thank you.
Nice to talk to you, Duru. Nice to talk to you.
Nice to talk to you also.
Madalena Capra. Cool name. Madalena Capra. Sounds
Hi there,
like mafia.
Madalena.
Madalena. Oy. Sounds very Italian.
Yes. Hi there, everybody. I am the one who watched the video yesterday and wrote the commentary. And you answered to join Satsang, and here I am.
So what was your question?
So in the commentary, I wrote that now I go from truth to imaginary. I actually don't know how to stay fixed in awareness as awareness, with the awareness turned toward itself, because the ego takes place again and again.
Yeah.
And so my little story is that in these past years, I have had an awakening, or it depends on what you really mean by awakening. But anyway, feeling the presence and so on. But in the last year, I had a kind of reversal where awareness was watching through my eyes. And I also had very, very, very much clarity about the fact that everything is a dream. I was before the whole dream. I was before consciousness. I saw I was not the doer. I saw that nothing ever happened. And after that, it's like the mind came in again, and it makes a project out of what is actually a fire burning in the heart. The fire you were talking about, because it was marvelous, because everything you said, I was relating so much, except for the fact that I'm still fluctuating a lot. I saw that the way, I mean, my soul is very, very much mystical, because it adores God, it adores, it has an adoration. I even remember, not precisely a past life, but I am able, not really at will, I don't know, it arrives, sometimes it happens, to realize like dimensions, angelic dimensions, celestial dimensions.
Can I give you some advice, Madalena? You've obviously had satoris. Why don't you tell people who are interested what you've experienced and try to describe it from that space to them? Because it'll take you back into that space, because you'll start turning awareness back to itself while you're talking. But to do that, you'll have to hold their eyes, because if you go into dream while you're doing it, you'll get lost. But if you hold their eyes while you're telling them, it could take you back into that space again. This is a way in.
What do you mean by keeping the eyes?
Well, if you keep someone's eyes, you're staying present.
The attention.
You're staying present to reality. You're not going into dream. So you're talking from that space rather than talking from a memory of that space. And if you hold someone's eyes, they can hold you here, which is where you need to be. I would recommend that for you, because I think that you're ready for that. Start telling people what you've experienced. See if you can't talk to them about it from that space, but hold their eyes when you do it.
Okay, this takes me to one more question.
Yes.
Because in this reversal, I experience clearly that everything is self-feeling.
Can you wait?
Everything else, everything is in me.
Can you wait just a tick? You're accessing memory as you're talking to me, and you're not really being with me. If you notice, I've been with you 100% the whole time, but you've only been with me 50% of the time.
Yes, I tell you why.
Why?
Because it's too strong. Everything is absolutely going through me. Everything I stop on, like your eyes, it's going through me completely, everything. That's why my mind is going crazy, and it stops everything.
Make it okay. Make it okay. Make it okay. Stop fighting it. Make it okay. Your resistance is in the way. In other words, you are in the way. Stop resisting. Make it okay. Make it so.
I completely disappear. That's why when I admit to myself, okay, I'm dead already, it's, if I allow it,
Make it
such a relief.
Make it okay, and there's no thought in that. Once we accept something totally, the story disappears. Make it okay. Whatever is appearing for you,
it feels like dying. It's
make it okay. Give yourself no choice. Make it okay. You wanted some advice, you just got my best advice. Make it okay.
Yeah, it feels like crying now.
Okay, that's okay. Make that okay too. Stop fighting. Make it okay. Okay, Madalena? The answer to that is yes, Vishrant. Okay. That was the best advice I could give you, Dal. Make it okay. Stop fighting. Your resistance is now in the way.
What if I can't make it okay?
You can.
Because allowing is not
No,
an
no,
action, it's
no,
a
no,
knowledge.
no. You can. You can. You can. It's up to you. You can. You can make it okay.
I know, because I have reached that point where
Yes. But
whether me
yeah,
or the
but
divine,
what you're
there's no place
doing
for the two.
what you're doing is talking too much now. Just make it okay. And then the conversation is over. And then you're free. Make it okay. Make it so. I've enjoyed this conversation with you. There's a readiness in you for it. Make it okay.
I will.
Good?
No choice.
No choice. Give yourself no choice. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Zen, are you with me tonight or are you dreaming, mate? I saw you nod off about a half a dozen times.
Sorry. Hi, Master.
What happened to your cheek?
I'm a bit out of it. I got I had a knock with someone. Their head went into my eye, and I've been a bit out of it all day. And
What do you mean their head went into your eye?
yeah, I reached down to he dropped something, and we both reached down to grab it, and he sort of raced me to pick it up. Then he lifted his head, and the back of his head went into my eye socket, and yeah, it just did a bit of damage.
So you got head butted.
Yeah,
Gee, mate, I'll leave you alone for a half a day, and look what you do to yourself.
yeah. I guess there was a bit of a lack of awareness in that situation on my behalf.
Well, on two people's behalf, mate.
Yeah, well, I can only really take responsibility for myself. I can't blame anyone else.
Oh, most people can.
Yeah. I'm not gonna let myself do that.
Ah.
I was hoping that I'd have a question, but yeah, nothing's come to me, so I'll just make the statement that I like your Star Trek outfit.
We're all on the Starship Enterprise, mate. Boldly going where no mind has gone before. Is there anything else then?
No, thank you.
Thank you. Hello, Siva.
Hello, Vishrant.
Hello, Siva.
Vishrant, when I'm doing the self-inquiry, sometimes mind tries to give different explanations. If the mind is a bullshitter, can I rely on those explanations?
No, you can't rely on any of them. What you do is if your mind starts talking to yourself, you ask your mind, who's aware of that? What's aware? The mind starts talking, what's aware? What's aware? What's aware? What's aware of the talking? What's aware? What's this that's aware? What's aware? You always come back to the question, what's aware? That is self-inquiry. Self-inquiry is not an analysing process, it's a questioning process. What's aware? Okay?
Okay.
Good. I'm glad we're clear on that.
One more question, Vishrant. I'm sorry to ask this. Is it okay to kill mosquitoes during meditation?
Is it okay to what?
Kill mosquitoes during meditation.
So what you do is you go into a place where there's lots of mosquitoes and then you meditate and then you get to kill them. Is that what happens?
Yeah.
Try meditating in a place where there's no mosquitoes. Get a mosquito net. Or what are you sitting out in the backyard where there's mosquitoes?
Sometimes, yes.
Yeah, not a good idea. Sit somewhere where there's no mosquitoes. Mosquitoes carry all sorts of different viruses and bacteria. It's not good to get stung by or bitten by a mosquito. You know, you're up in Sri Lanka.
Yes.
Yeah, there's dengue fever up there. It's carried by mosquitoes. Don't get bitten by mosquitoes. Meditate somewhere where it's safe. Do yourself a favor. Okay.
Thank you.
Save the life of all those mosquitoes. Hey, Rajesh.
Hi, Vishrant.
Hello.
Or should I say, live long and prosper?
Live long and prosper.
I have a question about energy,
Yeah.
in the sense that I'm noticing that depending on what energy I carry, my behavior changes.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask how much of my behavior depends on the energy I carry at the moment?
Most of it.
Most.
Yeah. When people are feeling certain energies in their body, say they're feeling, for instance, say depression, all their thoughts will be negative. They'll all have a grey tint to them. How the feelings that we're feeling, whether it's pain body or whether it's joy or bliss, will affect how you think and will start to create the type of thought patterns you have. So you've got to be very careful when you're actually going through the dark night of the soul, where you're healing wounding, that you don't get caught up in the mind's rubbish, because it's going to bullshit you. Because the mind is going to want to escape those feelings, so it's going to try to understand them and analyze and take you into dream, which is the booby prize.
Yeah. And with important decisions, it's probably best to make them while I'm clear, or
Yep. Yeah, when you've got clarity, when you're clear, when you can see clearly without being affected by density coming from outside of you or inside of you. It's always best. Anything else?
thank you.
Good to see you, Rajesh. Live long and prosper. Hello, Abaya.
Hello, Vishrant.
Hello, Abaya. Anything else, Abaya?
Thank you, Vishrant.
Thank you, Abaya. Hello, 𝐬𝐞𝐥𝐟-𝐢𝐬𝐿𝐤𝐤. 𝐬𝐞𝐥𝐟-𝐢𝐬𝐤.
Hello,
Hello.
Vishrant.
Hello, 𝐬𝐞𝐥𝐟-𝐢𝐬𝐤.
Wow. First off, all I want to say thank you for the retreat. It was incredible. It was really awesome for me.
Yeah, it was a good retreat.
It was really, it was, wow, yeah, it was a wonderful retreat, and I could precisely watch out the difference between being in the retreat and then go back to a week with full of stuff where I don't have time to clear out enough, because I could feel the dense energy and how I got really, really tired. Yes,
Yeah.
the week after.
Yep.
It was a big switch for me.
Yep.
Yeah. So what you said about children and self-obsession, I discover myself when I'm teaching kids that I don't use the words I used and maybe 5 or 6 or 7 years ago. And I find myself really more severe. Is severe the right word?
Severe. Yep.
Yeah. And what I find out is I am not severe because I am affected by the children, but I can see clearly how they harm each other because they are so self-obsessed. And sometimes
Yes.
I ask myself, is it okay to be so clear with children?
If there's not a consequence for their behavior, it will continue. It's that simple. If it's the same with adults. If there's not a consequence to negative behavior, the behavior continues. Now, when we're talking about severity, we're not talking about beating children. We're just bringing them into line with words. Yep. Is that what we're talking about? Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they need to know what's right, what's wrong, what's good, what's bad, and your tone of voice can indicate that.
Mm. Mm. Yeah. Sometimes there's still a rest of me with all the sannyas stuff with healing the inner child and always being on the side of the victim. And there is a danger for me to make it okay to stay in this victimhood. And I find myself pointing back to them and making them clear just to feel what they are doing and how they harm each other, because they really, really do.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's your role as a parent and as a teacher, as an adult, to actually show them the right way to go. That is your role.
Yeah, yeah. 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 That's okay.
Yeah, I raised 3 children, and my role as their dad was to prepare them for adulthood. If I didn't show them what was the right thing to do and what was the wrong thing to do, I would have failed them as their parent.
Mm. Mm. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So I
I
taught,
think I get the point.
I showed my children how to be mature, how to grow up, how to be adults. Because when we don't teach our children how to be adults, they go out into the world as immature adults, they cause trouble for themselves and others. We haven't done our job as parents to prepare them.
Yeah, I can really see how it is okay for all of the parents to make it okay that their children think that everything they wish for is okay. If they harm another one, or it's, yeah.
No, you can't let your kids harm anyone. That's not okay.
No, but I see that they are taught by their parents that it is okay to reach out for everything they want to without the consequences, without looking for the other ones. There is such a chaos at schools at the moment. It is incredible.
I understand. It's terrible. It really is. Because you've got parents who aren't training their own children how to be adults. They're keeping them as kids. And they're preparing them for trouble. Because when those kids get to teenage years or older, they're going to be in trouble with the police. Yeah. And it's the parents' fault. Anything else?
No, that's everything. Thank you.
Lovely to see you, Don.
Yeah, thank you.
Katie. Hello, Katie.
Hello, Vishrant. Thank you very much for Satsang. How is Harley Davidson?
Harley Davidson is out the backyard at the moment. Harley Davidson is an amazing fertilizer producing machine. he You feed him, and 10 minutes later, he's laying it out. You know, you've got to be very careful where he is 10 minutes after you feed him. Because if he's inside the house, you'll do it inside the house. So you've got to take him out the backyard on the lawn. He goes out there. But he eats more than any other thing I've ever seen eat. He has such a huge appetite for food.
Wow.
But he's a beautiful dog. He's so user friendly. He just wants to cuddle all day long, you know. It's a beautiful dog. Yeah, it's a beautiful dog. French bulldog.
Well, I was in a juice bar in Paraguay last week, and I bought you something. This is it.
Oh, that looks like Harley. That's Harley Davidson. There's a mug being made of him.
And a coffee mug.
Yeah. Harley Davidson coffee mug.
So I wanted to ask you if I could become a sannyasin, and I'm coming to Perth in July to meet you.
Yes, you've been seeing me for quite a while. I'd be happy to give you sannyas.
Oh, thank you so much.
I've just got to get Sai to make a note of it because my mind is blown. My mind has boldly gone where no mind has gone before. You know, it's like, wow.
Can you beam me up, Scotty?
It's all good.
Beam me up.
Beam you up. I already am. I'm up there already. I'm out there.
I know. I feel you. Wow. And I think you're omnipresent here in Europe, in Luxembourg. I think you're here sometimes, maybe all the time, but I feel you.
I'm anywhere that I put my awareness, actually, because the truth is we are everything. So wherever my awareness is, that's where I am. I am with you now.
Great. I feel it intensely. So I'm coming to Perth. I'm bringing my two beautiful daughters, my 19 and 16-year-old. She will be 19 next month. Next month.
Nice.
So we're going to come and meet you and do the Satsangs in person. So we're very excited about that.
Oh, great. So you need to contact Tosh to organise that. Tosh manages the society.
Yeah, we've already been chatting about my visit. So
oh, good.
That's good. He's pointed me in the right direction for Airbnbs and all of that stuff. So
yeah,
he's a really helpful guy. I really appreciate everything he does. Mahan too. And
he's probably listening to this. His head will get bigger than our house.
he doesn't have a big
And
ego.
no, Mahan's next up. Don't say anything more about Mahan, please.
No, you have a great team. I think they're really wonderful.
Yeah, we have some very beautiful people here in Perth.
So I'm going to give you this in person.
Oh, great. I'll show it to Harley. Harley will love that.
Yeah. You can drink your coffee with 14 sugars in it.
Oh, no, I've changed. I actually only have one shot of coffee and I'm down to 4 sugars.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Impressive.
Yeah. I was eating too much sugar.
Yeah. It's not great for you.
Apparently not. You know.
I just have one question, and it's following on from kids and their behavior. I've always been very strict with my kids about the right kind of behavior not to fit into society, but to be a good person. And I've always had a real problem with trust. And I've always said to my kids, don't lie to me. Tell me the truth, no matter how bad it is or how bad you think it is. If you lie to me about it, then it's immediately doubled. So that's, to me, it's worse to lie about a situation than anything I could even dream up of that they could tell me. So I really lose my shit when they lie to me. Break trust. But I think it's really important that they tell the truth. So I'm having a difficult time separating my attachment to trusting them. I think that's the problem.
But it's human nature to lie.
Yeah.
It is. And it's not a good idea for you to ever lie to them. That's a very bad idea, because then they'll lose trust in you. But to be okay with them as they are sets themselves up for them being okay with them as they are. And human beings do lie, you know. I have an amazing lie detector in me because I can read energy. And when the energy doesn't match what people are saying, I know they're lying to me. But most people lie. Most people lie, you know.
Yeah.
And so,
I have a really big problem with it too. I have a strong bullshit detector.
yeah, but I just make it okay.
Yeah.
You know, they don't know they're being read. First of all, they don't know that people can read them. Most people don't know that that can happen. So they don't know. It's okay. It's okay. It just allows me to do some pretty good business deals.
So I shouldn't get too heavy with them when they lie to me.
I think you got to give them freedom.
Okay.
Yeah, I think, you know, part of giving people freedom is allowing them to express themselves in that way also.
I think I have a hard time with it because their father lied and manipulated through lies a lot.
So you're
And I
coming,
especially,
you're coming from wounding, your own wound,
Yeah.
your own, yeah.
but I recognize that I was a real victim.
Ah,
And that I was in a victim mindset, but now I've let that go, and I even found a lovely birthday card that he made for me years ago, and it's on my altar. It's just sitting there in a beautiful spot where I can really see the love that he put into that. So
Yeah.
I've let go of that victimhood,
yeah,
mostly, probably not everything, but for me to be able to put that card there in pride of place in my bedroom is a huge shift from the way I used to feel about him. You know, the desire to take my keys and key along his car and stuff like that.
oh, that's a terrible thing to do.
I know. It was a thought. It was never an action.
I taught my kids how to be in the world by letting them role model off me. I behaved like a man in the world, and they learned how to be mature through watching me be mature. You know?
Yeah. I think that's very important. I try to do that as much as possible.
Well, kids copy you. They don't listen to you. They copy you. You know?
Yeah, just be a good leader for them.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, be careful of trying to teach anyone coming from your own wounding, because it'll be loaded.
Yeah, I recognize that. Yeah, because I don't want them to take on the things that I see are difficult, that I had difficulties with their father. So I can see that I'm projecting that I don't want them to be in that space. And yeah. Anyway, I would just like to say, go on.
Well, you're not accepting their father as he is. You're still not in acceptance that he is the way he is. And until you do accept him exactly as he is, you've got a problem. He's not he's not hurting you anymore. You're hurting you.
No, he's not hurting me anymore, really, because it's water off a duck's back to me, and now he does it through the kids. So he does hurt me, but by doing things to the kids that then upset me, and I think that's just cruel. But yeah, so I am hurting, but it's not coming directly from him because he rarely contacts me, but he does funnel stuff through the kids.
My point was different than that. My point was you're hurting you. Katie, stop it. I'll see you soon. I'm going to have a talk to Mahan now. You'll get to meet him when you come to Perth.
Accepting me as Yasin. I really appreciate it.
We'll have to find you a nice name that is not Katie. Okay, Katie.
Bye. Thank you. Love you.
I love you too, darling. Hello, Mahan. What do you got for me?
Hello, Vishrant. I've got a few questions from YouTube viewers.
Yep.
Guy asks, how does enlightenment affect our ability to control physical desires and live by our will?
Physical desires can be controlled by discipline, whether you're awake or not. If you don't have any discipline, well, you're not going to control yourself. It's up to you. Are you disciplined or aren't you disciplined? It's up to you. You're creating your reality. You create your reality completely by the way you think. It's up to you. Anything else?
Conrad asks, can you train your mind to think less about yourself just by repeatedly refusing to think about you?
I don't know if that would work. I tended to just put other people's information more important than my own. And so I'd be more interested in other people than I was in my own story. Wherever we put our interest, in a lot of ways, that's where we live. Anything else?
And Aziz asks, I'm practicing open lately and noticed that I started to feel energies of people and their energies passing through me, which causes health issues, headaches, nausea. Am I responsible for that?
Of course you are. It's your body. Anything else?
Two Moons asks, how does one help other people when they're not able to help themselves, for example, financially? Do we need to be financially healthy to offer this to others?
How much does a smile cost? How much does a hello cost? How much does a how are you today cost? You don't have to be wealthy to help people. Anything else, Mahan?
And two different people are asking if you know of any teachers, enlightened teachers in Europe or Asia.
I keep away from enlightened teachers. They're dangerous. Anything else?
And Shika asks, I'm not getting any success in meditation. I'm not able to become thoughtless. Can you help?
Yeah, the only thing that works is practice. If you're having problems in meditation, more than likely you're carrying a fair bit of energy, and it would probably be good for you to have a good dance before you try meditating. Dancing's brilliant because it allows you to let off a lot of built up tensions and built up energy inside the body. And if you have a good dance before meditation, you'll find meditating a lot easier. Okay, Mahan?
Thank you.
Thank you, Mahan. Nikan, hello.
Hi, Vishrant. How's it going?
I
I answer that one. Says just default patterns running through me.
Yep.
I just wanted to say hi today. It was nice seeing you, and thank you for Satsang.
Hi. It's nice to see you too, Nikan. Nice to see you. Rahim, hello.
Hello, Vishrant.
Hello, Rahim.
I think your Star Trek uniform is very cool.
Oh, mate. Well, if you're going to go on the Enterprise, you've got to dress for it, you know. Is there anything else I heard that you got a raise.
Oh yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Anything else, Rahim?
Thank you so much for everything.
I've heard that you're a very good gardener.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I've heard. Good for you. Hello, Anav. You have been drawing pictures of me and making me look older and older and older. Are you taking a picture of me and then aging me in it and then putting it into a meme? Because that's what it looks like. It's incredible what you do. I love the work you do.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I'm making you older, man.
You are.
Vanity. You have a vanity problem with that? No.
I look ancient, and like, you're making me look like an ancient wizard, you know. And you know, give me time. Give me time.
Well, man, I'm portraying how old your soul is.
Ah, wow. Soul.
It's ancient, man.
Seems to have been around for a while.
Oh my God, Captain Vishrant.
No, it's not a captain's outfit. It's engineers. Only 3 stars. You see, 3 stars. It's the 3 stars is engineer. 3 stars engineer.
It's engineer. Oh, go. That is good. I
Yeah.
thought you were. I thought you were piloting the starship.
I'd like to. I'd like to be able to say make it so, but you know, what the heck. I was always a mechanical engineer.
A mechanical engineer. Okay, good. It would be a safe trip then.
No.
That's nice.
No, not safe.
No safe.
No, it would be an outrageous adventure filled with danger and fun.
Oh, heck yes. God almighty.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's go for it. So where do we go?
We're already gone. No, we're already there. We're going. Everyone wants to go to their final destination. You're already here, man. You are already beingness. You've already boldly gone beyond, but you don't know it.
Damn.
Mm.
Oh, so we are already there. We are already there.
Yes.
Is the short journey ever.
Well, it's not even a journey, and you don't go anywhere because you're already here. You're already here. You're already here. Beingness is already here. It's not somewhere else. There's a guy playing guitar down in a hotel called the National Hotel tonight, and he plays a lot of Beatles and songs, and I thought I might go down for a dance in my Star Trek gear.
Yeah. Let's go for it. Okay, I will be there. I'm gonna take my jet and be there.
Leaving on a jet plane. Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Go for a dance.
Mate, I have definitely run out of time. It is time, it is time, it is time. So I am terribly sorry, Utsa and Felicia, but I have run out of time tonight. Love to you all. Thank you for Satsang. It's good to see you brave hearts here tonight. And for you, Anav, live long and prosper.